Welcome back. The city of Palmetto is looking into updating an ordinance that is nothing to crow about. City officials are now pushing for a ban on roosters and limiting the number of hens that homeowners can keep. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us live from Palmetto City Hall tonight with more on the story. Rick?
Yeah, Scott, good evening. The noise and the smell are the big concerns. This could become law by next week. If you drive around the city of Palmetto, chances are you'll spot chickens and roosters in the yards of some homes. The mayor and other city officials are now looking to update a bird sanctuary ordinance that's been in place for more than 4 decades. The updated ordinance would ban homeowners from having roosters and limit them to having 6 chickens.
Our ordinance hadn't been updated since 1975. And as we've progressed, we've just become more and more of an urban community. And so we're having to address that.
The city has been receiving numerous complaints from neighbors who say roosters have been very noisy and the chickens have caused a significant odor. For Palmetto resident Jamie Armstrong, she has mixed feelings about this ordinance. She's someone who used to own chickens.
Any type of sustainable farming you can do yourself, where you have access to fresh eggs, fresh meat yourself, and just even as a pet, is a wonderful thing. But I understand the inconvenience for your neighbors and your community as having a loud bird screaming first thing in the morning.
The updated ordinance would require those folks who own roosters and more than 6 chickens to have them relocated outside of city limits within 90 days. The mayor also tells us it would require people to keep them in a contained area such as a coop and at least 20 feet away from their closest neighbor.
There won't be a disturbance by the fragrance or any of that. And then, of course, not having roosters, that will take care of the noise issue. So we're hoping that the public appreciates the efforts.
And this ordinance will be out on the table next Monday at 7 o'clock right here at City Hall. Reporting live from Palmetto, I'm Rick Adams. Scott, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. A local animal shelter will reopen this week following an outbreak of a highly contagious parvovirus. At least 5 puppies at Nate's Honor Animal Rescue in Lakewood Ranch were diagnosed with the deadly disease. They believe the puppies contracted the virus after being brought here from another shelter. That shelter has since been deemed safe for both adult dogs and puppies. The Atlanta Braves are celebrating the opening of a new spring training preview center in Northport. Construction on a new stadium was supposed to be complete in time for next year's spring training, but a delay means the Braves will likely only play 1 game there next year. The Preview Center will give fans a chance to take a virtual tour of that new stadium and get a sneak peek at some of the perks the ballpark will offer. The Braves are scheduled to spend their first full spring training in Northport during the 2020 season. Construction resuming today on the $7.5 million Anna Maria Island pipe replacement project along Gulf Drive. Next up is 10th Street North at Gulf Drive. It will be closed to drivers and will remain closed until the end of the month. A detour is set up on 11th Street North that will send drivers to Bay Drive North and back out onto Gulf Drive. Let's get another check on our beach weather today with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Yeah, it was nice for the beach. Scott, temperatures a little bit cooler there. You may have noticed a little bit higher humidity today, feeling a little bit warmer out there. That's a result of that south to southwest wind bringing that warm, moist air inland, but it has kept things a little bit cooler near the coast inland areas like Arcadia and also into Highlands County. 90 degrees there today. The pressure 2999. That's still high, but it is starting to fall slightly as an area of low pressure develops in the Gulf of Mexico. 81 our current temperature. You can see quite clearly this is that stationary front extends right across North Florida out into the Gulf of Mexico. What's going to happen is an area of low pressure, a little piece of energy will develop in the Gulf and kind of slide down into the Gulf and then move right along that frontal boundary. And as it does so, it will bring some heavy rainfall here, mainly to the north of our area, but would not be surprised to see 1 or 2 isolated thunderstorms here. What we are seeing now is warm temperatures moving on in now, warm weather as a result of that south to southwest wind. Temperatures, as I mentioned, in the 90s inland. Things are going to change a little bit. We'll have some clouds on the increase tomorrow with our rain chances going up. Details on that in just a few minutes. Back to you, Scott.
Okay, Bob, thank you. More than $100 billion will likely be spent during the next 7 months as 2 of Florida's top elected officials go head-to-head in the 2018 election for a spot in the U.S. Senate. The long-anticipated contest in which Governor Rick Scott will try to unseat U.S. Senator Bill Nelson became official today when Scott announced his run in Orlando. Key issues that could shape this contest include the mass shootings at the Pulse nightclub and at Stoneman Douglas High School and Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The race is considered one of the keys to control of the U.S. Senate and some say it will be among the most hard-fought in the country.
Rick Scott has been very active as a governor, very visible as a governor. He's going to have access to a lot of money in the campaign. So this is going to be definitely Senator Nelson's toughest campaign.
Scott is in his 8th year as the state's governor. Nelson, Florida's only statewide elected Democrat, is completing his 3rd term in the U.S. Senate. And with term limits in place for most elected officials in our state, the spotlight is now being placed on local school board members. In November, Florida voters may decide whether or not their local school board should have term limits. When the proposal was originally being considered, supporters said term limits would bring fresh ideas and a new perspective to the system, but not everyone agrees.
I just think it's unnecessary, and I think it is another way of sort of slapping around public education.
Coming up tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, we'll hear from a member of the Sarasota County School Board, a state senator, and an education reporter about the possibility of those future term limits. Still to come in your Suncoast News, as the tax filing deadline fast approaches, we'll take a look at some of the most common errors people make when they are filing their taxes themselves.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Fun for the whole family, the 26th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival Grounds.
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore, but there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
The Wild Broadway series brings you Funny Girl. Fanny Brice dreams of being famous and through sheer guts and determination becomes a star of the Ziegfeld Follies. Playing March 28th through April 15th, it's the songs and story that generations have grown to love. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Don't rain on my parade. Come see Funny Girl.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Vaping is meant to be an alternative for adults who are trying to stop smoking cigarettes. But it's now an alarming new trend, something some are calling an epidemic. Here's Mary Maloney with more on what the FDA is planning to do.
A recent U.S. Surgeon General report found that since 2011, e-cigarette use among high school students has increased 900%. 1.7 million high school students said they had used e-cigarettes in the previous 30 days before taking the 2016 National Youth Tobacco Survey. 500,000 middle school students said the same. The trend is now accelerating among teens. A new generation of easily hidden devices emits so little smoke that some students are even vaping in class.
The most popular item, which is the Juul, and as you can see, it looks like a flash drive. It's not. And then the kids can just tuck it away when they're done.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is concerned that some companies are targeting and marketing e-cigarettes and vaping products to teenagers.
No kid should be using any tobacco product. We're going to be taking some enforcement actions very soon to target companies that we think are marketing products in ways that they're deliberately appealing to kids.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Front moving in late Tuesday. These are the weather headlines. First alert day. It doesn't look like it tomorrow. We will see some showers around. It will be somewhat disruptive to folks, but the front, I think, moves in late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and the rainfall will be a little bit more intense then. But as far as the heavy rainfall goes and the strong storms, it looks like it will stay to our north right now. We'll have to monitor it closely. However, that system will eventually clear through. By midday Wednesday, we should start to see clearing conditions here. So it doesn't appear to be around too long. And then there is a possibility for a first alert weather day come Sunday as a stronger cold front moves in. I think that has a much better chance of producing showers and some thunderstorms, some of which could be strong. So we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. As far as the Lakewood Ranch webcam goes, a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day today. We had some cumulus clouds kind of dancing through the skies. You'll notice around 4 o'clock this afternoon, things really started to clear out, and that allowed temperatures to soar, especially east of I-75, where high temperatures today were around 90 degrees in Arcadia, Wauchula, and into Highlands County. The forecast tonight does call for a slight increase in cloudiness. Temperature is extremely warm for this time of year, 75 degrees by 11 o'clock tonight, with a high dew point temperature too at that point. Right now, that frontal boundary lies well to the north. It is a stationary front. It is producing some showers and storms along it. And as I mentioned, on top of that, we have this area of low pressure developing. But what's happened is that wind out of the southwest now is really created some, not snow, but warm, humid air for our area. You can see some of that rainfall pretty heavy now from, just on the east coast, just south of Jacksonville, north of Daytona Beach, right through I-75 near Gainesville. Tough driving there along Gainesville and to the place to the west near Cross City, where some of those storms containing some very heavy rainfall, even some small hail. Now, it doesn't appear that we're going to see anything too rough here throughout the day tomorrow. We will see a few isolated thunderstorms at this point. Temperatures currently into the upper 70s to low 80s across the coast. The Gulf water temperature now at 78. That's starting to warm up, but it's now 88 in Sebring. They were just at 90 just about a half hour ago. 86 in Arcadia, 83 in Northport and Mayaca City. Now into the 80s as well. Well, the photo provided by Barbara Siebers, who shot this today out on Lido. Our high today was above average, 4 degrees shy of the record 88. It warmed to 84 degrees. Now, as far as the forecast goes tomorrow, we're going to see warm temperatures to start the day. It will be warm, it will be muggy to start the morning off. In the low 70s to mid 70s, we'll warm up to right around 80 degrees. We'll see the clouds on the increase throughout today. There's even a chance for a few showers in the morning. That rain chance at 30%. It really pops up, though, late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening as the cold front works its way through. You can see this depicting, this model depicting some heavy weather to the north of us throughout the overnight and into tomorrow morning. As I put the map into motion here, you'll see some showers down to our south. Again, scattered about, mainly inland, and then some of this activity will start to push on into our area later in the afternoon and evening. Now, as far as the rainfall forecast goes, you can see the heavier amounts well to our north there. We're talking up to maybe 1 inch to 2 inches of rainfall accumulation. We'll see lesser amounts here along the west coast of Florida. Well, the satellite and radar review over the U.S. showing a snowstorm making its way through parts of the Great Lakes tonight. Some freezing rain near Toledo and also over to Cleveland. And this is that large area of heavy snow and rain heading off and toward California right now. This is going to bring some heavy snow across the northern Rockies and into the Sierra Nevada range. As far as our forecast goes, it'll start to clear out of here by Wednesday. Things looking much better on Wednesday. Tuesday, a little bit disruptive out there. As far as boating goes, winds out of the southwest. We'll start off at 5 to 10, pick up to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas building 2 to 3 feet, and the water temperature now at 78 degrees. Current forecast looks like this now. 60% chance for showers late in the day and into the overnight hours. Temperatures staying a little bit cooler on Wednesday. We'll have a morning shower or two, clearing by midday, 78 for your high. Should be pleasant Thursday, Friday, Saturday, increasing clouds with a chance for showers late in the day. 70 to 80% chances of rain come overnight Saturday and into Sunday. Scott?
Okay, Bob, thank you. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. And we're seeing a roadblock on Manatee Avenue in Bradenton due to a crash. This is the lanes that are heading east on Manatee, right between 75th Street and Village Green Parkway. This is in West Bradenton, and it is slowing traffic slightly in that area. In consumer news, taxpayers have just a few days to file their tax returns by this year's April 17th deadline. Nearly 1 in 3 taxpayers wait until April to file, many waiting until the very last minute to do so. If some of you are included on that list, don't stress. We talked with a federally authorized tax expert about some of the most common errors people make when filing their taxes themselves.
I think the main thing they should know is not to be afraid of the IRS, to file a tax return that is correct, that shows all of their income, shows expenses if they have a tax return that is going to have expenses that can be deducted, and do the best they can. If there's an error on it, it's always fixable.
A common error that Hennessy listed that people will use the wrong filing status. Filing status is not always the same as your marital status, so it's important to know the rules around it. If you do find you've made a mistake on your return, it is easy to fix. All taxpayers have until 3 years from the due date of the tax return to file an amendment to make any changes they need to. The cost of gas in Florida has reached an average of more than $2.60 a gallon. Now, April fuel prices are now the highest in 4 years, up 9 cents in just the past month and 20 cents higher than a year ago. According to AAA, the price increases are not expected to slow down anytime soon as consumer demand for fuel continues to rise through spring and into summer. AAA says there are multiple reasons why oil companies are raising gas prices.
They're switching to the summertime blends of gasoline, which is more expensive to produce. And people, you know, it's been a long, cold winter, and people are getting out more, and they're traveling more, so there is a little bit of a seasonal impact as well.
Most expensive gas price averages in the state: Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and Fort Walton Beach up in the Panhandle. The state's cheapest gas, though, found in Tampa Bay and the Orlando area. Facebook is coming clean. Today, the company will start alerting users whose data was harvested by Cambridge Analytica. A link will be posted on their Facebook news feeds that will show what apps are linked to their accounts. The company said users would have the opportunity to use the link to delete apps and prevent them from collecting any more information. Cambridge Analytica is the London-based voter analytics organization that gathered information on tens of millions of voters. This collection was legal by rules Facebook had in place at the time. YouTube is now under investigation for allegedly profiting off young viewers. 20 advocacy groups are filing a complaint against YouTube, calling on the FTC to investigate the company for allegedly violating the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. The groups claim YouTube illegally collected data on 23 million children over an undisclosed amount of time. The groups are asking the FTC to fine YouTube up to roughly $41,000 per violation. YouTube's terms of service says it is not for anyone under the age of 13. Stay with us. Entertainment news is coming up next.
It's California Closet's Lighting and Accessories Sales Event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation, or visit us online at CaliforniaClosets.com.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in a car accident, the state of Florida only gives you a specific amount of time to file a claim. So act now, give us a call.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
The Mark, Sarasota. Landmark living in the center of it all. A private oasis in the sky. Luxurious private amenities. Promenade shopping and dining. The best of downtown downstairs. Now under construction and priced from the mid-700s. This is life, right where you want it. Call or visit our Discovery Sales Gallery today. The Mark Sarasota, presented by the Culture Group.
20 years ago, the moviegoers of Sarasota looked up at the silver screen and wanted something more. And they got exactly what they wanted. 20 years of some of the best independent films from around the world. The most iconic Hollywood stars walking the red carpet. The most glamorous parties in Southwest Florida. 20 years building up to the most exciting announcement in, well, 20 years. At the Sarasota Film Festival, April 13th to the 22nd.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
It's California Closet's Lighting and Accessories Sales Event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
In entertainment news tonight, Bill Cosby back in court, and already his retrial is causing chaos. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
A spectacle outside the courthouse. A topless protester jumping in front of Bill Cosby as he arrives to the first day of his retrial. The Bill Cosby rapist! The woman, identified as Nicole Rochelle, appeared in multiple episodes of The Cosby Show, according to her IMDb page. With the names of his accusers painted across her back, Rochelle was one of many protesters lining the steps to the courthouse.
We are sending a message to every courtroom, to every prosecutor, to every police officer. We demand to be treated with respect. That's right. We demand to be believed.
Today's retrial comes as Cosby's first trial last spring ended with jurors unable to reach a unanimous verdict. This time around, the judge is letting 5 additional accusers testify. But Cosby's fighting back with a new high-profile lawyer and an aggressive strategy, attacking the lead accuser, Andrea Constand, as a greedy liar and casting the other women testifying as bandwagon accusers looking for their share of the spotlight. Now his fate hangs in the hands of a new, carefully selected jury.
I think it's going to be challenging for jurors to put aside what they've heard about the Me Too movement, what they've heard about the Time's Up movement, and all of the pretrial publicity that Bill Cosby has gotten.
Of those 12 jurors originally selected for this case, 10 are white, 7 are men, and the other 5 are women. Both sides say they expect this trial to last for at least a month. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
A new trailer for the latest, much anticipated Star Wars prequel has been unveiled. In Solo, a Star Wars story, Han Solo befriends his mighty future co-pilot Chewbacca and finds out his real age. Solo also meets notorious gambler Lando Calrissian, played by Donald Glover, on a journey that will set the course of one of the Star Wars saga's most unlikely heroes. The film will be screened at the Cannes Film Festival on May 15th and then released worldwide on May 23rd. Actor-director John Krasinski celebrating tonight. A Quiet Place, that horror film, also starring his wife Emily Blunt, blew the roof off of all expectations over the weekend, debuting in first place with $50 million in ticket sales. That's more than double the estimates from just a few days ago. It's also double what last week's #1, Ready Player One, took in, which slips now to second place. We'll be right back with more news. Stay with us.
It's California Closet's Lighting and Accessories Sales Event. Save up to $1,000 now through April 30th. Call 1-800-CAL-CLOSETS for your free design consultation or visit us online at californiaclosets.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.